What is up, Packers fans, and welcome back to the Daily Draft. I am your host and the publisher of Packer Report, Ross Uglem. We are brought to you by Brewski, light lager from Badger State Brewing, the greatest can in all Wisconsin. And today we are breaking down Miami wide receiver Xavier Restrepo. On the pro side, I think he's as ready gets. I think he can start in the slot for you tomorrow. I think he can do that for a very, very long time. Consistent football player. I don't talk about PFF grades on every show, and I often say what I feel about them, which PFF grades to me are as much about consistency as a football player as they are about anything else. I think with their system, whether you agree with their grading or not, the one thing that they do is grade play after play after play after play. And their highest graded players to me are often the most consistent players that I find on tape, bringing it down in and down out. Pro Football Focus graded him 21st out of 1,030 wide receivers in 2023, 29th out of 1,041 wide receivers in 2024. So he is consistently one of the better wide receivers in college football. He is thick, thick through his entire frame. He may be short, but he's not slender. He has a strong running back type build, and I think that is key for him after the catch and key for him kind of when he navigates traffic. Very, very quick and effective in the short game, whether that's a tunnel screen, whether that's a pop pass, whether that's a slant. If you're going to get the ball in his hands quickly, he's effective. He can get you 5-6 yards in those situations. Really good on third down, right? 3rd and 3, you can throw him a slant. 3rd and 5, he'll find the opening in a zone. He's good in that area for sure. Good enough, by the way, with the ball in his hands that I think he's a special teams possibility at the next level. Probably doesn't have the top end speed to be a kick returner, but I do believe that he has the wiggle to be a punt returner. Those roles are becoming, different from when we all knew them anyway with the new kickoff. So I don't know, but I think he's got the wiggle and the strength to be one of those punt returners that can get you 8, 10, 12 yards, right? Not maybe a 40-yard touchdown, but one that can fair catch it when it's necessary and make good decisions, break a couple of tackles, flip the field a little bit for you, maybe get you like a 17-yard return or something like that, and completely change the field position. Very, very high level route runner, very advanced. He will work people from the slot at the next level, and I think he'll do it as a rookie. I think he's that ready. I think there's some Lad McConkey to his ability to run routes, but he's very much thicker than Lad, and I think a different prospect in that. I think Lad can probably steal some reps for you outside. I would not ask that probably of Xavier Restrepo. Super, super productive in his last 2 years. He was the man for Miami, no question. You start looking at what the Packers like at the wide receiver position, and production is up there. He has produced. Go look at the box score. We're not talking about scouting right now. We are literally talking about box score stats. Go look at Xavier Restrepo's box score. He is a super productive guy. That's important to the Green Bay Packers. 6 total drops. We're still on the pros. 6 total drops in the last 3 seasons, excuse me. Guys, those 6 total drops come on 241 targets. He is really, really good at catching the football. Hands are exceptional, gets it away from his frame, makes tough catches. He is, like I said, he's a third down monster. If it's 3rd and 4 and you need him to work a nickel or you need him to work a safety, he's going to do it. He's going to catch the ball. You're going to move the chains. He's really, really impressive. Badger State is hosting the ultimate draft week tailgate party right outside the draft perimeter. We're talking about Wisconsin's best beers. They'll have an old-fashioned station, 6 incredible food trucks, nightly local music, special pop-up vendors and retailers from Wisconsin producers. Don't just watch history. Experience it at Badger State Brewing. Tag your crew, grab a brewski, and we'll see you April 22nd to the 27th, just steps from the draft stage. Cons. He will not be a contested catch player at the next level. I don't think he'll be a perimeter player. I don't think you'll be able to use him at the X or the Z. I think he's going to be exclusively inside. Look, 11 personnel, 10 personnel, that kind of stuff is basically base in today's NFL. The starting slot receiver is just that, a starting receiver on your team. But the inability to be flexible, I think, does affect your value. It certainly does for the Green Bay Packers. I don't think that he would be a guy that you would have outside. I'm not convinced he's going to run super well. We're talking about 40. We're talking about straight line, take the top off the defense. Speed, I don't know that I see it in Xavier Restrepo. think his role is going to be incredibly specific in the league. Quick game, short and intermediate areas of the field, third down and medium merchant. That's what he's going to do. He's going to move the sticks. You're maybe going to run a little bit of gadget stuff for him. We'll see how he tests. We'll see how explosive he is. I don't think he's fast. I think he's going to get you 3rd and 6. I think on 1st and 10 on a play action, he's going to beat the nickel, and you're going to be able to get 7 or 8 yards. I don't see him as some game breaker, but I see him as a really good NFL football player, and that's why sometimes the cons are tough, because you feel like you're trashing a guy. But not every prospect is perfect. In fact, no prospect is perfect. It still doesn't mean that I don't like Xavier Restrepo. Things I do like: the Green Bay Draft Guide, powered by Packer Report. Promo code DAILY for $1 off, guys. It's the number one way to support us. It's an awesome guide. Jacob Morley does an awesome job driving you to the types of players that the Packers will take with the tier 1 and the tier 2 fits. 7-round Packers mock draft, my Packers specific daily, my Packers specific big board, feature articles. We may not be the first Packers specific draft guide, but in my opinion, we are the best. I also want you to buy the other ones. I want you to buy them all, but buy ours first, because of course that's the one that feeds my very cute children. If you check on my social media, buy the draft guide. That's what I need from you. Packers fit. He's thick enough. And we've seen some height exceptions, right? With the Amari Rodgers pick, the Randall Cobb pick, like they will take a shorter guy. I think there became a time where they started to view the slot position as a starting spot, as a specific position. And I think that's valid. I think it is different. And I think that's how you got Jaden Reed, frankly. But I think Restrepo could be a Packer. He's a little shorter for them. We just talked about that. He probably plays the same position as Jaden Reed, but I think there's a chance, with Jaden Reed now being a sophomore, maybe they don't want to re-sign him. I think they should. But there's also a chance without Christian Watson that they want to try to steal some reps outside. I don't know that I think Romeo Doubs will be a Green Bay Packer in 2025. He might be, but I think there are some opportunities potentially there to move on from him. Some things that I've heard. I'm not going to go on record or anything like that. But if you don't have Doubs and you don't have Watson, or even if you do have Doubs, you don't have Watson, and you might want some Luke Musgrave in the slot with Tucker Kraft playing tight end, and that would mean that Jaden Reed might be a Z receiver for you instead of a slot receiver. And I think maybe there's an upgrade available for the Bull Milton position, that backup slot. Something could happen to Jaden Reed, and then you don't have a slot because your big slot was Christian Watson, and he's gone till week 11 or 12. So there's potential there. There's potential. I will say, though, as I mentioned, they do like slot players who can steal reps outside. Restrepo probably can't. I don't think Randall Cobb could. Obviously, Greg Jennings could. They used Jordy Nelson in the slot, who was primarily an outside receiver. They use Christian Watson in the slot, who is primarily an outside receiver. They don't draft a ton of slot-only guys, but hey, they just took Amari Rodgers. So who knows? Maybe this guy could be a fit. Overall, I know exactly what he is. He's got a solid round 2 grade for me. That's because I view him as a starter. He is my 64th overall player. He's my 8th ranked wide receiver. He is a 10-year starting slot receiver for whatever team needs one of those. That is what he is. So if you think Jaden Reed can start to win outside, you can draft Xavier Restrepo, put him in the slot with Jordan Love for the next 10 years and be great. What's that worth? Not a first-round pick. Might not even be worth a second-round pick. As I said, I got a second-round grade on him. My 64th overall player. If you get him in round 3, I'm doing backflips. I don't think that's the type of receiver they need to target, especially with, the Doubs and Watson starting to reach the end of their contracts. Watson not being available, Doubs not being happy. I don't know that this is the kind of receiver that they need to target, but he would be a good football player, and the Packers should be in the business of adding good football players to their team. Short and sweet this time. Drink Badger State. Buy the Draft Guide, and subscribe to this very podcast channel. Thank you guys for watching or listening. Have a great week, and go Pack Go.